If you're watching this video, you're probably thinking about relocating to Treasure Valley, Idaho, which is one of Idaho's most beautiful areas to move. Very excited to discuss what it has to offer and if it is a good or a bad place to move. Welcome to or welcome back to our YouTube channel. If it's your first time here, then you have found the best YouTube channel. So make sure you guys press the subscribe button. Make sure you guys press the bell at the top of the screen to get notified when we drop more amazing videos just like this. And as always, guys, thank you for tuning in. Today's topic that we're going to be talking about is going to be, is Treasure Valley a good place to live? Now, me personally, I do live in the Treasure Valley, and I'm gonna give you a truthfully unbiased opinion as far as if Treasure Valley is truthfully a good place to live or a bad place to live. So with that being said, where is Treasure Valley located in the state of Idaho? Well, Treasure Valley is in the southwest region. It is including the amazing cities of Boise, Meridian, Nampa, Caldwell, Kuna, Garden City, Middleton, Eagle, and so many more of the amazing areas. However, that doesn't necessarily make it a good place to live. So we're going to be talking about that. So as far as Treasure Valley geographically, you're going to get a mix of a lot of different things, right? You're going to have some city, you're going to have some hills, you're going to have some mountains. And when I'm talking about mountains, I'm not talking about to the scale of Colorado or anything of that nature, right? Small scale, probably better described as hills, but you do have some amazing mountain views, and you do have a lot of water bodies around the area. So there's a lot that goes on in the Treasure Valley, to include a lot of agricultural land and things of that nature. So you're gonna get a mix of everything, and that's the same with the temperature and climate out here. You're gonna have all 4 season weather, which we'll talk a little more about that later in the video. But as far as the Treasure Valley, that's just a little bit about what it has to offer. Now let's talk about some of the pros of living in the Treasure Valley. Now the biggest pro for a lot of people, which is probably the most important thing, is gonna be cost of living. In the Treasure Valley, you are gonna see much significantly lower cost of living. Now that does change based off of the city you live in. For example, Boise and Eagle are gonna be slightly more expensive, whereas Nampa, Caldwell, or Middleton may be a lot cheaper when you're comparing it to those cities. So to give you a little more comparison before I dive into this, I am a licensed real estate agent in the state of Idaho. And as much as I love making these videos for you guys, I would also absolutely love to help you with your home buying needs. So you'll see my phone number, which is my personal cell phone number, as well as my email pop up on the screen. Shoot me a call, text, or email anytime. Do it right now if you'd like to, so I can help you guys come up with a tailored game plan for your home buying needs. Now with that being said, as I said, some of those areas are going to be significantly cheaper in comparison, right? So as I said, Nampa, Caldwell, Middleton, those areas are going to be cheaper than Boise, Eagle, Meridian. The reason for that is because the further away you get from the population or the city, the cheaper it gets, right? It just tends to be the supply and demand that we always hear about. And here's the thing, supply and demand is huge in Boise, supply and demand is huge in Meridian, with the population of Boise being 200,000 plus, with the population in Meridian being 120,000 plus, and then it does get smaller as you go through Eagle, Nampa, Caldwell, and all those areas. So Boise is the most #1 populated city in the state, then you have Meridian, which is #2, and then it just gets smaller from there. Now Southwest Idaho in general, whereas the Treasure Valley as a whole is over 400,000 in population. As far as the rural areas though, you're gonna see a lot less people. You're looking at 30,000 and less between the cities, which is awesome for some of you that are like, hey, you know what? I like the cities, I just don't want to live in the cities. The good news is the Treasure Valley has a little bit of everything for everybody. To come back to the cost of living side of things, for example, real estate in Boise and Eagle is going to be much more expensive than those areas we discussed earlier. So Boise is actually a $575,000 median price point as far as homes go. Eagle is going to be close to the $800,000 price point, and then Meridian, Idaho is $520,000, and then Nampa goes into the $400,000s, and basically it just gets lower and lower and lower. So like I said, completely up to you and what your housing needs are or where you want to live, because the most important thing to figure out is going to be what area you want to be located in. And for me personally, I wanted that happy middle where things are still kind of developing, but it's not too close to the city, so I can still make it on time to things. Whereas some people may be like, hey, put me in a condo, I want to be downtown Boise, see everything every single night, hear the Boise Stadium games and all that good stuff. So really depends on what you're looking for. Now the next pro is going to be outdoor activities. As you can see behind me, there's literally people driving up and back and forth, and that is a crazy thing to see on a window. So you're going to see a lot of outdoor activities being offered to you, from parks to outdoor recreation, from hiking, skiing during the winter, boating during the summer, golfing during the summer, or even if it's cold and you're willing to embrace it, whatever it is that you're into, you most likely can find, which is absolutely amazing. Now, another huge plus is going to be the growing job market, right? So for those of you that are like, hey, you know what, we kind of want to grow somewhere where there's a lot of growth coming or something of that nature, where you kind of want to get ahead, the good news is you can still do that out here because the job market is just absolutely growing. The job growth they're expecting to see by 2040 is going to increase the current economy by 86% in increase. So there's just so much opportunity coming to Boise, Nampa, the Treasure Valley as a whole, as far as the economy goes, which is a great thing for a lot of people that are relocating this way, looking to continue to elevate in their respective careers as they progress. So one of the biggest concerns for a lot of people moving this way is safety and community. So for those of you that are worried about that or may have not thought about that yet, the good news is it is a very, very, very low crime rate state, especially the Treasure Valley itself. It's just a lot less crime that happens here. And typically when it does happen, I always tell people it's usually news when something actually happens in the Treasure Valley, where most people don't expect it to happen. And then you also have a very, very, very strong sense of community. Now, a strong sense of community meaning you can literally go find whatever your tribe is, whatever your niche is out here. So me personally, I always tell people I'm a huge, huge football guy. I'm also a meathead. I like to go to nice gyms and enjoy some of those things. And I'm also a big foodie, right? So all of these different things, I can find people that resonate with me or are also interested in the things that I'm interested in, which makes it easy because we also have so many groups or so many different communities within the community that you can go and participate in and just have a good time. So for example, for those of you that may be 49ers fans like myself, if you go and check out Facebook, you can literally look up Treasure Valley 49ers and you'll see about 100 Facebook groups with a bunch of 49ers fans that are also in the Treasure Valley, and you can just start connecting with people just like that. So as far as community goes, you can literally go anywhere and everywhere and just find your sort of people, regardless if it's 49ers or the terrible Browns or whatever the case you may like, or if you're even into football, you can always find someone within that aspect that you may be looking for. Now, what are the cons that may make it a bad place to live? Well, the first one is going to be the weather, which we kind of talked about already. The severity of how bad the winter can get, it's not terrible. The worst one that we've ever had was actually when I first moved here, and I actually had just missed it, thank God. But it was because they had an insane amount of snow. It was almost blizzard-like. So they do get snow, they do get hail, they do get ice. Now, black ice is a big thing, but for those of you that may not drive around too much during the winter, there's no need to be worried. However, there is still that factor that it does get pretty cold here. So if you're not mentally prepared, or at least getting prepared for it, then you may not have the best experience. So I highly suggest you get acquainted with what the winter looks like here. Spring and fall are just amazing times to be alive, especially in the Treasure Valley when you're living here and you're seeing all this beautiful rain, where if you're coming from Seattle, I know you're probably tired of rain, but it does rain here. And summers are very hot. They can get triple digits, but nothing too extreme to where you can't handle it. But like I said, it does get hot. Now, another thing that's kind of a con, which is going to be dependent on what you like to do or how you view it, is going to be the growth that Idaho has in the Treasure Valley more specifically, because with it being the most populated area, it's continuing to grow, which means you're going to see a lot more construction, a lot more traffic, just a lot more everything as far as the growth pains that come with it, right? So it may start taking longer to get to where you're trying to go. There may start to become more crime as more people relocate here. You just never know what could potentially come with the growth pains. So just kind of a thing to think about. But as far as right now, the Treasure Valley overall is not having too much issues with all of those. Now, another big pain point, which a lot of people tend to avoid, is the diversity here is pretty limited, full transparency, right? So you're not gonna have a lot of culture and things of that nature. I will say the Treasure Valley is the best area in Idaho as far as being open to it. There's a lot of change that has come with it, and there's a lot of people that are relocating this way that are starting to see more and more hole-in-the-wall restaurants and just different activities and parades and events that are being thrown throughout the community, which has been awesome for a lot of people as we see that growth is starting to change, and hopefully that con will start turning into a pro as far as more diversity being in the state. So with that being said, guys, I know I threw a lot at you, so ultimately it's going to be up to you based off of your needs and things of that nature if the Treasure Valley is a good place to live. However, for me personally, so I've been here for over 8 years now, and it has been absolutely amazing to me. I could have left many years ago, almost 2 years ago to be exact, and I decided to stay because I have really seen the growth And as far as Idaho in general, it has grown on me, more specifically the Treasure Valley though. I love the people here. I love all the different activities I have to choose from. I have all the different things that I need personally. Although I don't have any kids yet, I also know that as far as school districts, the Treasure Valley has one of the best school districts as far as mathematics and English language arts goes, test score wise this last year. So I also know I'm in a good place when that time does come. So for all of you thinking about relocating to Treasure Valley or just curious if it's a good spot, I hope that answers your questions. Or if you guys have more specific questions about Treasure Valley, leave a comment below. Or once again, I'm gonna let my phone number and email pop up, and I'm gonna reiterate, I am a licensed real estate agent here, and I would love to help you guys with your home buying needs. So please, if you have to pause the video and shoot me a call or shoot me a text or shoot me an email, do that. I'm more than happy to help you guys as much as I can. And with that being said, guys, if you didn't already, make sure you guys press the subscribe button. Make sure you guys leave a comment of where you're watching from, and also turn on the notification bell so you can view more videos just like this and get notified when we drop more for you. So thank you guys so much for tuning in on another episode. I will see you guys on the next one.